All right, here's my mid-September update. It's been a while. And that's because a lot's happened. The main thing that's happened is my wife and I moved in August, and so all of August I have done like nothing for apps or for anything. I've just been working, and then this new place that we're in, we're renting it, but they let us like do work on it. So I was painting, we were cleaning for like a week and moving stuff in, decorating, like fixing stuff. So it's been like a month of projects. So it's been a while and I haven't done much. But last night was a late night and I had a walk and I wrote some things down and I was just like, I got to get this into a video or I'm gonna forget about it. So that's where we're at. I think my last video I talked about Bubbles mobile thing, and how it just didn't work for pairs. And then I think I mentioned switching my idea of my app from find people and then do things to an events app that then suggests people for you to find and why I want to do that. So the first thing that's happened since my last video was I had one more like pivot on that idea, which was instead of an events app that then suggests people to you, I made it from like events to what are people doing, and then instead of finding friends, I made it for friend groups. So I built that app twice actually. I think end of July, maybe early August. Um, I yeah, I built the first version and it was basically an app that would when you log in, it will show you like a poll or like a form that you fill out that says like what are you doing today? And then it's got like some of your interests that you've saved if you want to do skiing, if you want to hike, if you want to do a run, whatever. And then it's got like a little text box where you could just type in, here's what I want to do today. And then instead of just being like an open to the community, find other people who are doing stuff, it was going to be geared more towards friend groups. It would still have a community page, but the goal of the app would be to get people to add their friends as like a user, like I guess just a friend they're following or whatever, so that when you fill out your little form for the day, then it lets you into the page where you could see what your friends are all planning. And the app was going to be called Nomo FOMO, like no more FOMO. It's awesome. It was funny. I thought it was hilarious. Um, and the reason I did that was because, well, actually, one of my notes was in the last, 2 months, I watched a podcast from Nikita Beer, who is just an app guru. He's a genius. And in his podcast, or in the interview that was on somebody else's podcast, he talked about apps needing a way to grow. And I was thinking about pairs and I was just realizing like this app doesn't have, it struggles to grow, right? Like a friend finding app, people are getting on it to find friends. So how, like, who are they going to spread it to? But if I did not an events app, but like a things like what are you doing app, then I could make that for friend groups, and those apps naturally grow because um, once you answered your post and then it said like, hey, you don't have any friends on the app, so you're not seeing anything. Here's some people from the community. You'd go, oh yeah, I don't have any people on this app that I know. So then you'd be like, yo, hop on this app with me, and you'd like text your friends, whatever. So that was the reason that I made that switch. And I thought about, I mean, that was like 2 weeks of thinking, and then I saw the podcast, and I just thought, yeah, I should step away from pairs, and I should go back, and I should build an app that has an easier time growing. Um, which Nomo FOMO would. It would have an easier time growing because people would want to have their friends on it, and two friends could enjoy it, or three friends, and then it spreads between friend groups. So it had an easier time spreading, and so I stepped away from Paris and I designed that. I built that app twice. I think I built it 50% one way, and then I realized that I was doing things wrong, and so then I rebuilt it all the way through. Um, Little note on that is that was actually the first app that I finished. So the last like four versions of pairs that I ever did, I never fully finished 100%. They were always like 80% done, 75% done. And then I would like get distracted. I'd think about something else, and then I would focus myself again and say, no, I should do this. And then I'd realize that I would like see flaws in it and how I designed it, and I'd go, I should just rebuild this because there's a better way to do it. So, NomoFomo is actually the first app that I've built all the way through, and what really helped with that was learning um, like a really short 3-step process, which is for an app, first off, keep the first version really, really simple. Like, do not go crazy. Have it be like as few features as possible. Then design the infrastructure first. So, what is um, like what data needs to exist or what data tables need to exist for your app to function? Meaning, like, you need to have a user. What does a user need to have? They need to have a name. They need to have a profile picture. They need to have a birthday assigned. Like, they need to have a way to have their birthday with their account. So, like, that's all the user stuff. Then what does a post need to have? A post needs an image, a post needs a caption, a post needs a way to hold likes and comments, or like that kind of stuff. That's infrastructure. So um, I did the infrastructure first for that, and then for NomoFomo, I designed all of the pages, like every page possible. I think I did it in Figma first, and then I just copied those into Bubble. Um, design every button, design every where the logos are going to be, design everything, do all that front end stuff. And then the third thing that I did was wire all of the back end logic. So like if they click on a button, what happens? So it's going to log the user in. It's going to post something. It's going to create a new record in the database. All that stuff. And going through that system, like infrastructure, front end, back end, made it really easy to like finish that app and um, do it quickly because the method I did before, where I would design a page, then go to design backend stuff, realize I needed more infrastructure, so then I'd go do infrastructure, then come back to the backend, then design the next page in the front end. That was just like a disaster. So, pro tip for anybody out there getting into apps: infrastructure, front end, backend is like a pretty decent way to get through things. That was a big accomplishment because I feel like I've never actually finished an app yet. Like I said, the first 4 versions of Pairs I did hadn't ever been finished. Uh, not many other things in my life I've finished, but that's like something that I set my sights on as being the kind of person who finishes things, and so it feels good to finish an app. The next step for me, I guess, is to publish an app to the App Store because I've never done that either. So that's like the next hurdle for me is to get that done. But okay, what was next on my notes? The Nikita Beer podcast helped like made me switch. I finished an app finally. So one more note on finishing the app. The way that I actually finished it, because it sat at maybe 60-70% for a while. Um, I woke up at 5 a.m. and like did 2 hours of work on the app for like 2 weeks. And that's what it took to finish the app. It feels good though, because I think I used the excuse like, oh, I wish I had more time. Oh, I don't have enough time. I use that excuse a lot in the last, month or two, actually maybe the last 6 months. Like when I was working on pairs, if I went a week without working on it, I would say to myself, like, I just don't have enough time right now. And that's an easy excuse to fall into because there's always things that will soak up your time. But carving out 2 hours in the morning from like 5 to 7 a.m. to work on an app is like a really easy way to force time. And I was sleep deprived and I was like a total wreck by the end of the week. And I just slept a lot of a good portion of Saturday and I'd sleep a lot on Sunday. But like it got done. So pro tip two out there: if you feel like you don't have time, that's a lie. You do have time. You just need to sleep deprive yourself to get it done, and then make up for the sleep on the weekends. So there's that. Um, so the last thing is just last night, because for the last 2 weeks I've been sitting on publishing the app. I haven't published it to the App Store, and that's been like the next step on my checklist. I haven't done it because this Nomo FOMO app that asks you what you're doing and then shows you what your friends are doing um, will not work. I've talked to people, and the people that I've talked to in the last week or two, I've just realized like this is not an app people will use. And I probably should have talked to people beforehand, but I just designed the app first, built the whole thing, and then I started to talk to people and realized pretty quickly no one's going to use this. And I think there's one main reason, and it's that friend groups don't have a problem knowing what people are doing. Friend groups have a group chat. Like they have a group chat, or if like if you have like I've got friends, I don't game, but like I've got friends who are into gaming. And if they're gonna hop on Halo that night, they just hop on Halo and they text all the boys and they say, "Yo, who's hopping on Halo with me?" And then like whoever's gonna hop on Halo hops on Halo. They don't need to download an app and then answer like thing every morning. I want to play Halo today, and then see which friends are playing Halo and then text them. It's a friend group. They have a group chat. They just text each other. Like Nomo FOMO isn't solving a real problem. So once I realized that, I was just like, I'm not going to publish this to the App Store. There's no point in going through with an app that I just know isn't solving a real problem because you could get users on it, people will be nice to you and they will download it for you. But then the battle you're fighting is retention, and you don't want to be fighting the battle of retention. Um, which brings me to last night. So last night I couldn't sleep. I was just up because I've been thinking about this forever. Like, what do I do? I don't like that this app um, won't work because it's not solving a problem. I just like thought of an idea and then made it. And it has to, and I don't want to fight the battle of retention. So what do I do? Um, it was like late last night, couldn't sleep. I went up, I just went on like a walk around my block of our new place, and a few things hit me. One was um, that I realized I'm looking for an app that like is perfect and doesn't have any problems, which doesn't exist. Um, every business and every app is going to have problems. You're just picking which ones you want to solve. So, do I want to solve the problem of retention with NomoFOMO, or with pairs, it's the problem of the network effect, like getting over the network effect? Which problem would I rather solve? Um, so that was one thing that hit me last night. It's just I had to accept the fact there is no perfect app, and that brings me to my second thing, which was which problem do I want to solve? If there is no perfect app, then I have to pick an app that has problems. I have to just pick ones that have problems that I feel like I can solve. And I think Pairs is that app. So last night, I think I made the decision to switch back to Pairs or a version of Pairs because I feel like Pairs actually solves a problem. Like I've talked to people and like I've seen people's faces light up when I talk about Pairs and they go, "Oh, that's a good idea." Like like something clicks in their brain and they go, "Yeah, that's a good idea." Like people need that. The problem Pairs has it doesn't scale very well. It's a friend finding app, and then it's really hard. Like people can't invite their friends because they're on the app looking for friends. So it has to grow really from just word of mouth and like uh I don't know, guerrilla tactic marketing. I don't know what it's gonna take, but it's gonna take something. But and I thought that's probably a better problem for me to solve. So I'm gonna go to a version of pairs. I think it might not be the exact same one that I had initially made. I might combine it a little bit with Nomo FOMO or other ideas that I've had recently. But that was the decision that I made last night, and that brings me to today, which is I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm gonna do with pairs because I don't want to build the original app, um, or at least the original app idea. I think it needs to be something needs to be different. I'm not sure what. I've thought about the daily question that asks you like, what do you want to do today? And um, if you answered that question and then it just showed you people in the area, and then you could either follow those people and see what they're doing every day when they answer questions, or you could like hide people, I guess. Then you would slowly like find people who want to be friends. I don't know. I'm still a little like nervous about like swiping right now with friend apps. I guess I probably shouldn't be, but um, the swiping thing is like close to a dating app, and I don't want dating apps associated with the friend finding app of pairs. So I still got to figure out how I'm going to make it work and what I'm going to do, but I've kind of come full circle where I started out with the pairs idea, then I twisted it a little bit, and then I did like a hop, skip, and a jump to a whole new app. And then I built that whole new app only to realize that I should just stick with the original idea that solves a problem that I'm passionate about and that I feel like I've seen people react well to that idea. which means that the problem is going to be scaling and getting your first users and like getting to that threshold before it kind of grows a little bit through word of mouth. But that's a problem that I can solve, and uh, I think I'd prefer to solve that problem. So we're back on that. Um, any final things? I don't think there was. So yeah, that's where we're at. This probably means I'm going to be redesigning and rebuilding pairs for like the fifth or sixth time now. Um, I'm gonna do it more simple. The UI is gonna be more simple. The features will be more simple. And I'm just gonna finish a version of it and then get it on the App Store. That's gonna be the goal. That is where I'm at, I guess. And um, yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm like really, really tired of trying to build apps. So it's gonna be a grind. It's probably gonna be another month or two of 5 a.m. wake ups after I design the app and I know what it's gonna look and feel like. It might be another month of 5 a.m. mornings to build it all the way through again. But whatever. It's got to work sometime, right? If I just keep pushing at this, it's gonna work. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you guys in the next video.